Tell us about some other projects that you have in the pipeline.
So I told you about the parking adjudication application. We're actually pretty excited about that. The other thing that we're looking at is one of the big businesses that we do is we run the lands record department. So if you have a deed, you come to one of our centers and you register that deed for a sale. Today, you bring paper to us. And we create some forms and we type some information. Who's the owner? What is the address? Well, which address would this owner or management company like to be communicated to if it's not the address of the property? That's all done manually. The underlying application that we have for this is a terrific piece of technology. We need to enhance it. We need to add to it optical character recognition so that we can take your deed, and today we take that deed and we have all of them online, but we have them as pictures. We need to be able to extract from that deed the data elements and put those data elements in our database with a lower rate of, frankly, key punch errors. And as we do that, we need to look at patterns of that data so that we can eliminate a little problem, or a rather large problem that I have. I shouldn't be humorous. So we have a deed fraud problem. And we need to look for patterns in this data to be able to prevent deed fraud. So this is a major effort that we are just kicking off. We are beginning to work with a couple of companies to determine how we're going to move forward and which company we're going to partner with in order to be able to enhance our land records management system. The other thing that we're looking at is we have a tremendous amount of backroom information about parking tickets. And I've learned a lot about parking tickets as I've been in this job. Parking tickets are not just an individual like myself getting a parking ticket, but there are fleet companies and there are brokers and there's a whole set of customers. We're trying to understand how we can modernize all of the systems that support that business and get ready for what's going to be going on in the Department of Transportation, where they're going to be having their own mobile application where you're going to be able to pay for parking on a telephone. How are we going to interface with that? So we're looking at that whole back end of information about parking tickets and how we can make that more flexible and available to the public and available to us. And we've also just, in the last couple of months, so as you can well imagine, in an organization like ours, we have many, many different data warehouses, data marts, data files. We kicked off a project to be able to aggregate all that information and try to figure out how we're going to mine this information. So we're building a data warehouse. We're spending a lot of time on data governance. And we're also beginning to look at things like blockchain. So going back on my example about registering a deed for a sale of a land record sale, one of the ways that we're trying to figure out is, can we apply some form of blockchain to all of the identities associated with that process to also help us eliminate deed fraud? So we're hoping to figure out how to pilot that over the next few months and decide how we're going to try to leverage that. We've seen some examples of blockchain that, while blockchain is not yet really a mature technology, there's some examples of it that we think might be able to be mature enough to apply to this problem based on some things that we saw that are going on in Europe. So we're trying to understand what that's going on there. Mm-hmm. Those are some of the things that are going on, but it's a full play. We're not bored.